finding hope in the broken. I remember when the world broke in to rip apart my soul. For years after that one event, I thought myself not whole. My hours were spent with trying to fix it up with tape and glue. Until one day I discovered everyone else was broken too. Here we were with pieces of ourselves in both our hands, so fragile and so open, that I began to understand. Maybe I'd been greedy to want my soul all to myself. When it could be a lot more helpful. In the palms of someone else. Now, every time I go somewhere, I leave part of me behind. And collect all of the pieces of other souls that I can find. So when I'm meeting someone new, it's not just me they get, but also tiny fragments of all the others that I've met. And my life's become much bigger now that it's home to things so small. And if this is what broken means, I do not mind at all. The process of healing is incredibly important, but healing does not imply wholeness. Erin Hanson beautifully accentuates how scarred and broken we are. Pieces and fragments are what make us who we are, and those pieces and fragments fall out, don't fit anymore over time, or get knocked out as we go. We're not stationary, and we go through things, traumatic things, hard things that alter our mental and physical well-being. These alterations can make us feel not whole. They can make us feel like we're not ourselves. Unfortunately, social media also feeds into that, showing us people who seem to have it all together. The truth? They don't. No one does. As the line says, everyone else is broken too. We've all lost, and we've all suffered, and we've all been at least a little broken, which makes this poem a universal truth. The relational and psychological implications of this poem are so important. Post-traumatic growth and understanding cannot happen without the pain. We are made of the things that had to happen to us, and we're beautiful and broken because of them. I'm so proud of all of us who've weathered the storms of grief, trauma, mental illness, and share pieces of ourselves with others still. Don't take for granted the impressions you make on others' lives, and use your broken pieces to connect, share, and appreciate this wonderfully messy life we live. The pain we felt may take some part of us away, but the growth and appreciation are wonderful consequences. The truth of this poem is perspective and change of perspective. We are all broken people just doing our best to go on. This poem was written in 2008, years prior to the pandemic, so it wasn't necessarily meant for finding hope in the brokenness of our current world. But that's the beautiful thing about poetry and literature, is finding hope, beauty, or inspiration when you need it the most. For me, I found this poem about a year and a half ago before the pandemic, but following finding out a bunch of information about my family that really changed how I viewed certain important people in my life. This was also during a really bad flare-up and relapse of my mom's MS, which resulted in her losing her job. I found this poem at a very dark and tumultuous place in my life, and it completely changed the way I addressed my situation and the things that were happening or had happened to me. Changing my perspective is what got me through some of the toughest situations I've ever had to endure, and gives me hope and confidence in my ability to go on as my authentically broken self. Whether struggling with a loss or trauma, Hanson's words offer comfort and understanding in the brokenness. Hanson points out, too, that although suffering is an unfortunately lonely event, it doesn't have to be. May we find those other people with whom we share our lives and attempt to make the world a much less lonely place. Social support is a major factor in recovery and healing, so let's not let people go through things alone. We're not privy to others' thoughts and feelings. We need to bridge the gap, which is done through language, and the way we speak to ourselves and others matters. Hanson's tone is reminiscent, patient, and sanguine, the perfect combination to address a broken audience and tell them, essentially, I know it hurts, but I'll sit with you and pick up the pieces. I mentioned earlier that literature and poetry are beautiful in their consistency and applicability throughout time, but also in their variety. Poetry can be used as cultural commentary, to make a statement, or to enact change, all of which are phenomenal, but it can also be like Hanson's poem, advice and understanding, written in a simple sentence, meant to offer hope and perspective to those who are or have suffered, which is all of us. We're all a little broken. Let's embrace it and one another in our homes of things so small.
The shortness of breath, I'll explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful